So we're going to be taking a look at creating a new form. You need to be logged in as a config user. Then you go to Forms and Events, Show All. Now here are the forms that already exist within Festival Pro. Now if any of these are similar to what you need, you can make a copy of them and adapt them to your festival, or you can create a new one down at the bottom here. So we're going to be looking at people's shoe size. The registration, you can choose the date when the registration's open from and when it closes. And then it's asking us for a page design. I'm going to pick Festival Template Logged In. Now, if you don't know what the designs are, you can come to Design here, Form Templates. And you can preview what the designs look like here. Now, these are preset ones that we have within Festival Pro. You can edit them and you can add your own, but it's a little bit more complex and you'll have to have some grasp of HTML. Back to our form. Now we're going to take a look at the access options. So the access options, here you can see we have the option to have a public user, a system user, or closed. You can change this at any time. But for a public user, this is better for new registrations when you want to take people's details and create a contact within the system. A system user is better when you want to send forms out to existing contacts, maybe with delicate information that they might need to log in to do. You also have the option here for event or form. So we're just going to do public for the purpose of the video. So you have the option here as well for event or form. So event and form are the exact same thing, except with an event, you can attach a price to the form. And as a form, you can't attach any prices to that. So we're going to click form. It's asking you if you want people to log in. We're going to click no. Here you can see groups who have access. Now, this determines who can access the settings of this form and the registrations, i.e. people that have registered with this form. So say like your account team might need to have access to the registrations, but not the settings. So you can set that here. If you don't select anything, then it will just allow everyone to access both. Next, it asks you for personal details. This is whether you want to create a contact within the system or not. So if you were sending this form to someone who already existed within the system, then you probably just select anonymous registration. But we're going to choose the registered details just to show you. And then must purchase an item, we're going to select no. Next, you've got receipt options. It's only really appropriate when you're selling something. So when you're doing an event instead of you're setting up an event instead of a form. You can choose here options whether you want to send an invoice, or when you want the option to pay by invoice, etc. And the currencies as well. Now on completion, you can choose whether you're sending tickets. In this case, we're not sending any tickets. You can also have them sent to individuals or the main booker. And do we want to receive a notification on completion? Probably not if we're doing applications, because that would be a lot of notifications. So we're going to save this. Now our form's been created. Once again, like I said, you can change this access option and close the form whenever you want. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is tags for registrants. Now, when somebody registers, our form's already set up for this. For example, the artist application or the volunteer application. But if you're creating new forms or you're changing your forms around, be sure to have a look at this. So what tags for registrants does is it will automatically assign this with their it will automatically put this in their contact details. So for example, if you were having artists using this form to apply for your festival, then you would set their type to artist, and then that would display their information under the artist tab. If you wanted to give them access to log in as well and have a look at this information, you can pick artist liaison view only, so they can log in and see any information that goes back and forth between you. And then what you need to do is you need to click save every time you change one of these fields. But if we go back here quickly, See, now this has been set up as an artist. It's opening up company fields for an artist. Now, say for example, this might be better with vendors. But say for example, you had a standard performance fee of £500 or dollars or whatever you're charging. If I put that in here, and then I save that information, then what will happen is that everyone who registers through this form will be charged, will be given a performance fee of 500. And there's so many more options that you can choose from there as well, whether you're doing this for your vendors or your volunteers. You can automatically assign a shift for anyone who registers with the form. I really urge people to kind of have a look with this because it can save a lot of the time when entering information and details in the long run. But just make sure that based on what type you want your registrants to be, that the form is set up for that.